Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at Six Strings Nine Lives. No, it's not a new Overkill album review, although that should be here in the next couple days. I was hoping it was going to make it on release day, but like I've said before, that hardly ever happens to me living in the middle of nowhere, Canada. But I have listened to the new Overkill album several times. Awesome. Can't wait to talk about it. But in the meantime, I've been spinning some 80s hair glam metal, kind of had been in a bit of a mood. And I've also been spinning some live Iron Maiden, which has inspired this video. And I thought, you know what, has anybody ranked or, done a video strictly on their Iron Maiden live albums? Yes, they have. I looked it up, and lo and behold, one of my friends, Cloudy Milder, he did a couple of years ago, I think 2.5 years ago, did a video where he ranked, I think, about 10 live Maiden albums. But today, I am going to show you my top 6.66 favorite Iron Maiden albums, which really is my top 6 albums, live Iron Maiden albums, and the 0.66 is going to be just some DVDs that I've collected. And there's a couple of DVDs I still need to get, and we'll talk about those too. But I thought, you know what, it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere, so why not celebrate with a Trooper beer? This one is the Sun and Steel. Probably out of that variety pack they had there, probably the weaker one, the weakest as far as more just more of a light beer. Not one of those really dark ones, although there's actually a lot of good ones in that case. But anyways, not a beer video, but anyways, cheers to everybody out there. I am going to, like I said, just my top 6. I do have pretty much everything live from Iron Maiden. I think they list 13 live albums. Excuse me. The only one I don't own is the BBC archives. As far as official goes, I'm not talking about bootlegs or anything like that, but one that won't appear on my top 6, but I'm always proud to own these, first of all, because I remember when they came out, I think they came out, I don't know, a few months apart, but I never liked that they combined these into a real live Dead one, and they used this cover, but I love the artwork for this, there's no doubt about it. But this is the original, a real live one. I would love to have these on vinyl, and I wish they would reissue them separately, because the next one I'll show you, which is a real Dead one, this is one of my favorite Eddies. In fact, I did a video way back. I think it was a contest called Who's Your Eddie? And this is one that I showed. I just love this one, the DJ Eddie. Again, not top-notch Iron Maiden live albums. And I was also thinking about, in my collection, there is only maybe Maiden, Saxon, and maybe a couple other bands. I guess Motorhead, although I don't personally own a bunch of live Motorhead. But as far as doing a favorites or a ranking of live albums, Iron Maiden would be at the top, and maybe Saxon would be something I could do down the road. But I got a couple lists of things to talk about before I get into these 6, because it won't take long. But I've personally got to see Iron Maiden 3 times in my life, which I'm very happy that I did the first time. And if you young folks out there remember what a newspaper is, and we might even talk about a VCR yet today. This is the first time I saw them. This is Iron Maiden. Let's see if I can block the back there. That makes that better. Special guest Anthrax. This was March 7th, 1991. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. So that's the province that I live in. No Prayer on the Road. And that's kind of when they actually scaled back. So it was nice to see Iron Maiden at that time, but it was a little bit underwhelming as far as stage show and, the things that I saw through videos or VHS or concerts prior to that. But you know what? I was still happy to see them, and they played 5 songs off that. I wrote them down because I knew I wouldn't remember them all. And throughout a lot of these live Iron Maiden albums, they do play sometimes up to 6 songs off of a new album, but mostly around the 4 to 5 mark. So off of that tour, they played Tail Gunner, Public Enema #1, Holy Smoke, No Prayer for the Dying, and Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter was in fact one of the encores. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, let me know. I'm sure there's people that have saw Iron Maiden many more times than 3, but I'm happy with that. And if I got to see them one more time, on that next tour, I forget what it's called now. I like what they're doing with those tours where they're going to play Senjutsu songs. And anyways, leave it in the comments. Let me know what I'm forgetting. I forget what that tour is going to be called. But I will go out of my way to go see them at least one more time. So the other thing is I'm happy with Iron Maiden honoring, as far as studio albums go, they really honor the Paul era, the Blaze era. Those albums are still readily available. They're reissued all the time, which is fantastic. I wish, a band like Judas Priest would take note. But probably just a record label struggle type of thing with Priest. Iron Maiden is, like I said 10, 20 times, a marketing machine. They've had a grasp of the business end of this for the past, I would say really solid for the past 20, 23 years now. So that's not bad. That's not bad. So I'm going to show you just my top 6 Iron Maiden live albums. And the first one I'll show you, I would love to get the DVD for this, and I need to do some digging to get it, but this to me is a bit of an underrated one. This is Death on the Road from 2005, so this would be my 6th favorite. And I would say 4, 5, and 6 are real close. 1, 2, and 3 are maybe just on another level from these 3 that I'll show you. This artwork, since Fear of the Dark, when that Melvin Grant took over the cover work, and I think this is his work, I'm not 100% sure. This is not a great Eddie to me. Got a bit of a Abigail feel. This reminds me of King Diamond Abigail album cover, but anyways, as far as an album goes, a live album, I really do enjoy this one. Great set list off of the Dance of Death album. So this one came out in 05. A Dance of Death album, studio album, came out in 03. But I don't envy Iron Maiden. Making up a set list would be an absolute nightmare, which is probably why they do these tours. Like the second time I saw them, by the way, it was in 2008 on the Somewhere Back in Time tour, and then the third time that I personally saw them was in 2019 on the Legacy of the Beast tour. So I like those kind of tours. I still like to see album cycle tours also, but hey, I'm not going to be picky with Maiden. I'll see them when I see them. All right, set list. You got some great tracks off of Dance of Death on here. Wildest Dreams, Dance of Death, Rainmaker, Passchendaele, great rendition of Passchendaele. What else did they? Oh, Journeyman. Journeyman is really good on this too. They end with Run to the Hills. But one of my favorites, and I think it's one of the only times that I personally, or not personally, one of the only times they've done Lord of the Flies live, which Bruce does a great version of that. I really do like that Bruce does Blaze era songs, and of course he does Paul era songs also, which that's the one thing I do wish that there was more, or at least one live album, official live album from the Blaze era, and more from the Paul era would be pretty cool, because honestly I like every era of Iron Maiden. There's good to be found in all of it, but there's my number 6, Death on the Road. I don't know if I mentioned it. Let me know in the comments what some of your favorites too. I know I really enjoyed Cloudy's video. We do share a couple of, well, for sure our number 1. Might be our age, I don't know, but better grab another sip of that beer. All right, coming in at number 5, from 2009. Not a complete show as a full concert. This one is a collection of tracks. So this is my my fifth favorite is Flight 66, which is the original soundtrack to something I'll show you here in a second. Each of these songs were recorded in different cities on the Somewhere Back in Time tour, which I did see this fantastic show. But you lead off with Churchill's speech, Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight. Some of the highlights for me on this one, Revelations for sure. Always love Can I Play with Madness. Heaven Can Wait. They don't play that one very often anymore. And of course, you always have the standard Iron Maiden or Fear of the Dark. And this one finishes up with Hallowed Be Thy Name. And here is this is a pretty cool, so Sam Dunn does this one, I think. The guy from Metal a Headbanger's Story or Global Metal, it says on the back. But this is just a great set. And honestly, if I am being honest with you, the DVDs and, something like this, a documentary, I get just as much pleasure, if not more, out of these than I do the actual audio. But it's Iron Maiden. I'm going to collect it. I'm going to buy it. And I really need to find that Death on the Road DVD soon. I will make a note of that and do a little bit of searching. Definitely need to pick that one up. All right, my fourth favorite here is, and actually I shuffled one around because I thought these were all just etched in stone. This is the way it is. But anyways, this one is been high on my list since it came out. It's from one of my very favorite Iron Maiden albums from the tour anyways, 7th tour of a 7th tour. But this is Maiden England 88. So originally, I think the video came out for this around 89 and the audio a few years after, but then this was reissued in 2013. And I think they play pretty much all of, they play 6 out of 8 tracks from Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, which is awesome. The only 2 they left off would be, I don't even remember which 2 they left off, but some standouts on this one for me for sure. Running Free. I've always loved the song Running Free. I love when Paul sings it. I don't mind when Bruce sings it live either. I think it's great. And when they play stuff from, the first 2 albums like Killers. This one, actually, there's a Still Life is on here. There's the track listing if you do want to see it and pause it. But this is a great live album. Live concert recorded at Birmingham NEC on the 27th and 28th of November, 1988. And like I said, on the 7th tour of a 7th tour. But yeah, ending with the songs Running Free and Sanctuary, just top notch. So there's my number 4. And I do have the accompanying DVD with that one. Now, I've watched these, like I said, I get more pleasure out of these. So I've probably watched this more than I've listened to that, what I've just shown you. But there you go. This has some, disc 2 has the history of Iron Maiden Part 3, 86 to 88, 12 Wasted Years documentary, some promo footage, and the whole concert. So great to have this. Always love this album cover too. Love this Eddie. Pretty cool. All right, that brings me to number 3, which honestly, before I picked up this other one I'll show you, was my number 2. But also, you're just splitting hairs with some of these anyways, but this is currently my number 3 favorite live Iron Maiden album. Rock in Rio, and just the one thing that just jumps out to me, actually I should show you the vinyl first, then we'll talk about this DVD. So Rock in Rio 2002, we all know the story. Bruce and Adrian are back, Iron Maiden, everything's great in the world of Iron Maiden again. All the fans are super happy. This crowd, this is what I was going to talk about. This crowd is unbelievable. Personally, I've never experienced anything even remotely like this. Probably the biggest show I've ever been to would be an outdoor AC/DC concert with, I don't know, maybe 40,000 people, but this is just, this is in the hundreds, thousands of people. It's just mind-boggling, but just an awesome set list. Brave New World comes out 2000. Like I said, everything's well and fine in the world of Iron Maiden again. Great album. I still love that album. It's still one of my favorites of the reunited or return of Bruce and Adrian era. But this is just a killer live album. They do quite a few from Brave New World, like The Wicker Man, Ghost of the Navigator, Dream of Mirrors, Blood Brothers, what else? The Mercenary, and but there's some killer tracks on here. And I really enjoy the two that Bruce does the most from the Blaze era, and that is Sign of the Cross and The Klansman. I think he does a phenomenal job. I have always loved those two songs, regardless of who sings them. Even when Blaze did them, I think they're top-notch songs. What else? Couple standouts on this one. Like I just said, The Klansman. I'm just staring at that again. Ending with Run to the Hills, great track, and of course, you know what? Fear of the Dark. I do like the song, but I'm almost I wouldn't miss it if they took it out of the set list in the future. I mean, there's just so many. I just love those deep tracks that they, and going back to making a set list for a band like this with this many hits, this many albums, must be like I said, a nightmare. You might as well just pull songs out of a hat. That would be the pull out of the hat tour would be pretty cool. But there's my third favorite live Maiden album, and the accompanying DVD, which is really cool. If you have not watched this one, it is well worth your money, time, and I think this got a kind of a cutout. Yeah, it pops up. Got a picture of the stage, and like I said, like just the sheer amount of people and just the fans there's literally fans crying in the crowd. They are so happy to be there and having so much fun, and like I said, just mind-boggling. All right, that brings me to one that kind of jumped over this one, and I got this one when did this come out? Last year on vinyl. This is Beast over Hammersmith. So originally this was a part of the Eddie's Archives box set, which I do not own. And I think, when did that come out? Probably 2002 or something. But just glad to have this on vinyl, which is part of the Number of the Beast 40th anniversary. They actually call this one Number of the Beast over Hammersmith. And just glad to have the live portion of this. Love this cover. Love the set list. And this is all from a concert that was actually done in 1982 prior to the release of Number of the Beast. So, I mean, it was days or weeks away. I know Run to the Hills was hitting the charts and actually doing very well. But just a phenomenal set list. And the one thing I absolutely love about this is 1982. So at the time, they had the debut to choose from, they had Killers to choose from, and they had Number of the Beast to choose from. Which on here they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs from Number of the Beast already. 6 songs, and the rest were from the early albums, and probably personally one of my favorite lineups with Clive Burr on drums. May he rest in peace. He was awesome. He really was a great drummer. But Adrian in the band here for his second album, Dave Murray, Bruce, just one of my favorite lineups for sure. And probably the Killers lineup is also one of my favorites too, because I love Killers. It's an awesome album. But yeah, great set list here. If I can hold, this is one of those triple gatefold, so you're probably not going to get all of that, but Murders in the Rue Morgue, Wrathchild, Run to the Hills, some deeper tracks, Another Life, 22 Acacia Avenue, Total Eclipse, which was on this 40th anniversary, is Total Eclipse, which live is a phenomenal song. I love that riff. It's great. Great song, great lyrics, all around. Happy it is on here. The Prisoner, great live, and this one ends with last two tracks are Running Free, which again, love that song. It's just not your typical, just 16 pickup truck, out of money, out of luck. I just love that. I wish they could play that every concert and I'd be happy. And this one, it wraps up with Prowler. So there is my number 2, Beast Over Hammersmith. And one left, which no need to guess. You already know it. And that is Live After Death from 1985. So we're getting thirsty. Just a second. My first new released Iron Maiden album was 1984's Power Slave. Prior to that, we were just getting into the band around the Peace of Mind time. Peace of Mind, Number of the Beast, we knew of them, and we bought, me and my friends bought them, but Power Slave was my first brand new released Iron Maiden I ever bought, and then came this a year later. Live After Death, for me, nothing will top this. I highly doubt it would. For live Maiden stuff, this is just Maiden at the top of their game. The tracks are, everything is just... And, the one thing I will say is when it comes to a live album, I don't give a shit if it's touched up a bit. It's still a live album to me. I don't care if they, took out this or added a little vocal here. To me, it's not a studio album, it's a live album. But this one sounds phenomenal. There's just not a weak track on here, not a weak moment. Aces High, just one of the, out of Churchill's speech into Aces High, just get you pumped. 2 Minutes to Midnight, The Trooper, Revelations. I mean, how could you not love that guitar riff? It's awesome. Flight of Icarus. Hey, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. They're pulling that off live, 11, 12-minute song or whatever it was. Very cool. A song that, Die With Your Boots On. I don't know if they played that in a long time live. Love that song. What else did we have here? Of course, and what am I looking for? The Trooper. Trooper, just great. And you love the cover of The Trooper. Phantom of the Opera, they wrapped this one up with 22 Acacia Avenue, so they did play that one again. Wrathchild, but just a phenomenal artwork. I love this artwork, love this album. But there's my take on my top 6.66 live Iron Maiden albums. Did I show you this one? So this one is the History of Iron Maiden, Part 1, the early days. So why am I showing you this one? This one does include that Beast Over Hammersmith live concert, 45 minutes. So I think it's the entire album that I showed you. But hey, if you're into Maiden, I'm sure you know all this stuff. But let me know in the comments, what are some of your favorite live Iron Maiden albums? What are some of your favorite Iron Maiden moments? Have you got to see them? Did you finally get to see them after all these years? Is it on your bucket list type of thing? And for me, you know what? I'll be 55 years old in December. I need to see these guys one more time. And like I said, I'll do a little traveling if that's what it takes. Just so many fond memories with this band. And I thought I would, do a little celebration with you guys on this one. And always love hearing from you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, stay heavy.